Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Christian Garza. Laura has the day off. Across America, just hours ago, the man suspected in the Charlie Kirk murder was taken into custody. The 31-year-old prominent conservative was shot and killed during an event at Utah Valley University. CBS's Andres Gutierrez reports on the latest details in the case.
We got him.
Authorities identified the suspected gunman in Wednesday's fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson of Utah.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
The development comes after the FBI released surveillance video overnight of a person seen on a roof, then jumping down.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" Catch!
Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in.
President Trump broke the news on Fox and Friends, saying a minister and the father of the suspect helped in the arrest.
I hope he's going to be found guilty, I would imagine, and I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
The 31-year-old conservative activist was shot and killed Wednesday at Utah Valley University during one of the college campus debates that he became famous for. On Thursday, Vice President J.D. Vance, who is a close friend of Kirk's, along with the second lady and Kirk's widow, escorted his body home to Arizona on board Air Force Two. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Orem, Utah.
Yesterday, Kirk's casket was escorted home to Arizona on Air Force Two. Now, last night in Coeur d'Alene, the community held a candlelight vigil. Hundreds of people were there, saying they were heartbroken and angry about what happened.
I think everybody needs to come together and know that this was a tragedy. And I'm looking forward to whoever committed this assassination to be caught and justice will be served.
Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown ordered all flags to half-staff following Governor Bob Ferguson's directive. The act honors victims of political violence, which includes Charlie Kirk, as well as Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Horton and her husband, who were assassinated back in June. Flags will be lowered until sunset on Sunday. Well, switching things over to weather now, let's bring in meteorologist Thomas Patrick, who's outside in our outdoor weather center. Hey, Thomas, so is this kind of the sort of weather that we can expect throughout the weekend?
I would say tomorrow and today are going to look just identical, and it's about perfect. It's so comfortable as of this noon hour as we're looking at a current temperature of 70 degrees here in Spokane. A little bit of haze in the sky, but nothing worse than that. But boy, did we have a big rumble of thunder at around 2 or 2:30 this morning. Those storms have since mostly passed. I am noticing maybe just a sliver of some rain along a boundary that extends from Lookout Pass right on the border of Idaho and Montana here down towards Lewiston. Looks like Moscow got a sprinkle within the past hour, but outside of this strip of rain, everywhere else is definitely looking very dry, very sunny. Again, maybe hazy at worst conditions. So for the second Friday of the fair, near perfect conditions here with a high of 80 degrees. Very, very comfortable for late summer weather. And while Saturday is looking identical, Sunday could feature some changes. So we're tracking when that next cold front is going to be, when the next rain chances will be heading our way, and of course, how much cooler the weather will get there afterwards. So all those details are coming up in your full forecast in a few minutes.
Thank you, Thomas. Well, this afternoon, we're learning more about the school shooting in Colorado. We now know the shooter was 16-year-old Desmond Hawley, a student at Evergreen High School. He started shooting with a revolver, injuring 2 other students before killing himself.
He would fire and reload, fire and reload, fire and reload. This went on and on. And as he did that, he tried to find new targets. And he came up against a roadblock on many of those doors. He couldn't get to those kids.
Law enforcement praised school staff for acting quickly to lock down classrooms. As for a motive, authorities say Hawley was, quote, radicalized by an extremist network. Closer to home, Washington State has fined a farmer in Spokane County $100,000 for repeated illegal water use. The Washington Department of Ecology says the farmer near Deer Park was watering close to 70 acres at Wild Rose Prairie. The DOE had been warning them to stop watering, but they say the unauthorized irrigation continued for 20 days. The DOE says the water was pumped from the spring tributary Dragoon Lake. And the Hilliard man, who police found with enough fentanyl powder to kill everyone in Spokane County almost 4 times over, had his sentencing. The judge sentenced him, Timothy Maddox, to 20 years in prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says police recovered enough drugs to make 2 million fentanyl pills and evidence from a commercial pill press operation. They say he helped run the operation out of his accomplice's Hilliard home. Police say the men ordered the pill press through the mail from China. Local leaders say they are preparing for a tough budget cycle. The news came out at the annual State of Spokane County address yesterday. They are expecting the county to have a $20 million budget deficit. The other main focus was crime and safety. Spokane County Commission Chair Mary Cooney talked about the increase in funding for Spokane treatment and recovery services. She said it's clear there's much more that needs to be done.
We are on trend to lose 1 person to an overdose death every day in 2025. That is unacceptable.
The county also hired 50 new deputies in the last 18 months. Beyond crime, construction was a big topic of conversation in the past year. Cooney says construction investments hit the second highest in the county history, bringing in almost $1 million in revenue. In continuing coverage today, a federal appeals court ruled the Trump administration is allowed to stop Medicaid funding from going to Planned Parenthood, at least for now. A lower court previously blocked the administration from cutting funding. The Trump administration says the congressionally approved law should go into effect while appeal courts decide on its legality. Medicaid providers will lose funding if they are providing abortions and receive more than $800,000 in Medicaid payments per year. In a statement, the president and CEO of Planned Parenthood said they will continue to fight what they call an unconstitutional law.